Welcome, boys and girls, to EHL Talk. We're here live from IHEP Studios with Jeff Dennings, our assistant commissioner. How you doing, Jeff?
Assistant to the commissioner.
I want him to be the commissioner. He won't do it. But hey, great season this year, guys. I think it was a good move. It seemed to be to get rid of the 25 and older division. Love you guys, but
Great.
over is a lot less stressful just to have one. But what we need to do, what do we need to do, Jeff? We need 8 teams. Why do we need 8 teams, Jeff?
Because it makes playoffs. We can have regular playoffs instead of a round robin.
Speaking of playoffs, what did we do last Sunday? All right, so let's talk about the playoffs. So, congratulations to Frozen Wings. It wasn't a big surprise. You see Burton company finish the season up, but it was tight games all weekend, wasn't it, Jeff?
They were great. All 3 of the final day games were decided by 1 goal. 2 of them went into overtime. 1 went not only past the overtime into a shootout. And well, I got to tell you, that last game, though, between Frozen Wings and Gooners, that had me sitting on the edge of my seat. That was a great game, well played. Both teams executed just great.
Yeah. It was close. So, yeah, it makes a case for keeping Frozen in the league next year. If we could just make some minor tweaks, we get Eric. I know Eric from Marauders was talking about splitting his team. And we get Eric and Mike Mays to do some upgrades to their team. It'd be nice if we can get some guys from Frozen, just kind of reshuffle the deck a little bit. But, that's for the managers to decide. It's a manager's call. So, hey, first I want to call out our managers, too, and thank them. This is our first season since I started doing this in 2015 that we actually collected all the money for the league. It was really nice.
So, I appreciate that as well, Dave. They made it real easy on me as far as working that check-in desk and everything. When the teams got paid up, I relieved that hassle of me having to harass guys as they walk in.
But you do a good job of that, too, man. It's like ask early and often. I love your policy. That's great. So, yeah. By default, you're always asking. So that's good. Big
I usually hear, I told you last week I was all paid up. I'm like, I ask everybody, so get used to it, guys.
Can't remember everything, so. So our managers, I just want to say thank you, Ty Burt from Frozen Wings, Tom Hutchins from Bud Tenders, Chris Green from Gooners Dogs, Greg DeFore from Lockwood. Lockhart. I know I screwed that up. Sorry. Greg DeFore from Lockhart, Eric Shawwalker from Marauders, and Mike Mays from Hurley Phantom. So I just really appreciate you. It was a good season. So here's our standings. We have if you go to hockey.gears.beer, you can see the standings, all the information there. And, as far as the goal leaders and the goalie leaders. So it's all there. And then we have our past seasons going all the way back to 2015-16. At the very beginning, when we just had 4 teams in the league. When did you join, Jeff? Do you remember? It was probably...
I'm not sure. I think it was that season following the beginning season.
The second one?
Yeah. You had claimed that you had somebody working the desk that couldn't do a good job. And I was just supposed to check in on her, and she quit like the following week. Maybe I harassed her. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I do tend to just hire cute girls, but it's a flaw of mine.
Oh, so, yeah.
Anyhow.
Well, we did have that one
scorekeeper. We had what?
That one scorekeeper. I don't remember her name. She was kind of cute.
Oh, yeah, Abby. Yeah.
You sure?
Pretty sure. Abigail. Yeah, I'm sure. She actually, let's be nice.
Okay.
Yeah, she's a waitress, a nurse. She's going to school to be a nurse. She's a waitress at the French Laundry. Not that I haven't kept up with her or anything, but yeah. I'm too cheap to go to the French Laundry, so I haven't seen her. But anyhow, if you click this, if you're on the past EHL seasons and you click season stats here, we have a whole page here set up for you with all of the stats from last season. So I know you guys are going to be reading this. It's a good way to go to sleep at night.
Well, all of that is on the front page right now on the home page, Dave, but it'll eventually, when the next season comes up, it's going to get replaced. So, for posterity, it's here.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, because we want to focus now that the 21-22 season is done. We want to focus on next season and grow it to 8 teams so we can. Why, Jeff?
Man, playoffs just need to be a bracket going down. It's like.
Yeah. Oh, and let's talk about playoffs, and because there were some questions about the rankings. So we explain how the rankings. Gunnar, he was sure that we were going to have a 3-way tie.
Yeah, no, there's so points is the original score. So if there's not a tie, it just goes by strictly points. The second thing that it's going to do is it's going to go to the difference column, which is your goals for minus your goals against. And then if there is still a tie, it's the third tiebreaker. Well, no, it'd be the second tiebreaker, would be the goals for. So points, difference, goals for.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And the odds of it making it past that are pretty astronomical.
So that's baked into the software, the way we have it set up. So if we want to look at modifying that for future seasons, we can do that. That's settings we can change how that works, right?
Yeah.
Maybe. Oh, I get Jeff into this.
Yeah, it's not easy, guys. Just so you know, that's not something that's easy. So
anyhow, that's the rankings. That's how they work. So,
yeah.
So
well, it looks like for the playoffs, though, Dave, I mean, it goes 10, 8, 6, 5, 2, 1. So it didn't really come into effect at all, strictly.
What Chris was saying, that if we lost and Gooners beat Frozen, then we'd have a 3-way tie.
Yeah.
No, if Gooners won, we would have a 3-way tie with 4 wins and 1 loss.
Right.
For those rankings. So I don't know.
And the difference with 22, Frozen Wings would have won in that situation.
Yeah, the difference still. Yep. So, but yeah, it was really good. A lot of parity. I'm sure you guys are sore and tired after a long hockey season. You should consider bud tenders for all your tender needs. Rub some of that crap on your knees. It really helps. I'm looking for some bud tender salve. I don't have any up here right by me.
Yeah. But, and just so you guys know, I have arthritis, and I use Dave's salve on my hands, and it works great. 2 applications and my hands don't hurt for about a week.
There we go. There's our shameless commercial plug. Thank you, Jeff.
2 more sponsors, don't we, Dave? All Black Hockey Sticks, which is the home of the $89 stick.
They also have Just Hockey jerseys. Larry, who skated with us a few times, these are the 2 websites we actually run for him. All Black Hockey Sticks and Just Hockey jerseys. Fully sublimated hockey jerseys for just $35. If you want one of those cool bud tender jerseys, let me know. We'll get one ordered for you.
Wouldn't they have to be on your team first?
No, somebody stopped me in the lobby. Hey, where'd you get those socks? Sunday. Go to Gear Stop here. Send me a message. We'll get you some.
That's funny. And then Staley's Plumbing and Heating and Air Conditioning is always
big support.
Really nice that he sponsors us every year too.
Yep. And who are these crazy characters?
Yeah, so that's me.
Great Lakes Hosting.
Yeah. Hey, your ad is wrong though. That should say 90% off the first 3 months.
Oh man, you got more expensive. Jeez.
Yeah, I did.
Uh-oh.
Right. spam coming in. When I offered it for free, people were signing up for it wasn't collecting a credit card.
Yeah, free never works. So,
Yeah.
all right. So cool. Thanks for to our sponsors, and let's work on getting sponsors for next year, and have a great season. In the meantime, we'll be skating Wednesdays throughout the summer. If you go to app.perfectskate.com, you register, buy some credits, and book skates. It's as easy as that. If you have any problems, questions, let me know. So
Yeah.
thanks. Thanks for a great season.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody. It wasn't enjoyable. Thank you.
All right. Anything else you want to share, Jeff? We good?
No, I'm good. That's the guys, I did pretty good this year on memorizing everybody's names. I got to tell you though, there was about 5 or 6 guys that I just could not get it. I have no idea why. I'm usually pretty good on that stuff, and it was every week. Couple I caught maybe 2 weeks before the end of the year, but and everybody's always surprised. But there is like 100 of them and only one of me, so it's not as easy as you think, guys.
No, I like when I get short circuited and I call somebody else by the wrong name consistently. So that happens.
Yeah. Well, I had to redo the sign-in sheets this year, Dave, because the old software went by their last name, came last name and then first name.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody got trained for years walking in, saying their last name. And then 5, 6 games into the year, we switched over to the new software,
Mm-hmm.
and it did first name, last name. So they're alphabetized by first name, and somebody would come in and say their last name. I'd stand there and look at it.
Can't find it. Yeah.
Yeah. So next year, guys, first name, last name.
Yeah, and that's a good point to bring up. So the prior season, we had COVID, but still we managed to get 23 games in, I think. So I think we got over 20 games in, and this year we got the entire season in. Which was, you look back at it, it's like, I wasn't sure, who knew what would happen, but we got the whole season in. But our software provider went out of business. The hockey community, they didn't go out of business. They pivoted. They don't want to support league activities anymore. They're a social thing, I guess. I don't know what they're doing, but we had to find new software right in the middle of the league, right in the early in the season. And thanks, Jeff, for putting all that together. Came out really nice.
Yeah, I kind of like the new software too. It's some of it is hard to deal with, but the rest it did its job, and I think the tables look good, the stats look good. So it's a little bit different. The one thing it doesn't say it 10 minutes into the first period, so and so scored. It doesn't have those stats where it just gives a total of the who scored. But anybody ever wants to know on the stats or when people scored, this booklet right here is the entire season, everybody's sign in, everybody's score sheet for the entire year.
We have the data. Okay.
I will be handing these over to Dave. So if you have any questions about the season or stats,
cool. I need some campfire starting material. Thanks, man.
The commissioner.
Hey, speaking of that, let's talk about Scorekeepers for a second and what we're going to do for next season. So big thanks to Devin Dennings. That's Jeff's nephew. He was there. I think he missed 1 week out of the entire season, and he got somebody to cover for him.
He did.
I mean, that's outstanding. We've had challenges with Scorekeepers in the past, especially when you're running two sheets, right, at the same time, because now you need twice as many Scorekeepers. So if we could just fix the ref problems, mostly it was a pretty good year ref wise, but we just have like that one guy from yesterday, he doesn't even want to be there. He's a miserable person. So I don't get it. But
Is
for the
that
most
the
part,
hands warm in the pockets guy?
yeah, I asked him if his hands were nice and warm. Yeah. So, but that, I mean, those are problems that every men's league hockey has to deal with, and it's tough, to find refs. So shout out to Andy Pavlich for organizing the refs for us this year and taking care of that. We didn't have any issues. So except you get some lazy refs once in a while, but hey, that happens. They're people too. Refs are people
Yeah.
too. So hey, but scorekeeping, what we're gonna do? This is the important takeaway. We're gonna have a clipboard for each bench. And Devin will hand it to each bench at the beginning of the game and ask each team just to mark down goal scorer and assist, whatever your goals and assists, because we'll compare that to what the ref is shouting through that plexiglass on his way by,
Mhm.
that Devin has to try and get and write down. And sometimes they throw out numbers that don't exist, so
Yeah.
so here we have a cross check. So if you guys, because you guys know, it's hey, like our nice overtime win on Sunday. Colin dished it out. I think Andy started the play around, and Colin dished it to the front, and Kevin buried it in the net. So boom, boom, boom. We got a goal and 2 assists. We know who did that. So
I think they only gave one assist on that.
I think we need to give Andy an assist, but that's okay.
All right.
He never looks at the stats, but
Oh.
that's okay.
Or they'll come up and say 17 scored and it's really 77 or
Yeah, things get recorded wrong, and we're only as good as the data we receive. So
right. I think the clipboard's on the bench though, Dave. That should work pretty good.
yeah, we'll make it
We'll
real.
we'll put a string with a pin on it, guys, so you don't have to worry about being
Yeah, you
responsible.
don't have to carry a pen with you now. We'll make it real easy. But yeah, so we're gonna improve that so we have better stats. We're looking at the same times next year, expand to 8 teams, and well, that's it. I think we're ready for next season. We'll just have to get together a team manager meeting probably late August, get everybody together again, and we'll figure it out for next season. So thanks again.
Mhm.
Great year.
Yep. Thanks again, guys.
All right. Take care.